Good morning, children. We will continue with the chapter of federalism today, and we are going to discuss how is federalism practiced. We know that the constitutional provisions are necessary for the succession of federalism. In order to succeed federalism, we need India. We have succeeded in federalism. Some of the provisions from the constitution is necessary. Not only because of the constitutional provisions, India has succeeded in federalism. The real success of federalism in India can be accelerated or attributed to the nature of democratic politics in India. We know that democracy also is important. Okay, due to the democratic policies or politics, federalism has succeeded in our country. And this ensures that the spirit of federalism, respect for diversity, and the desire for living together became shared ideals in our country. These are living together. We know that federalism is a system where the government is divided between governmental powers are divided between the states and center, so that the diversity of our country should be united together. This is because of our federal policy and with the help of democracy. So here let's look at some of the major ways in which how these are functioning and federalism is functioning in our country. Let's see how the linguistic states are formed in our country, how the states were divided on the basis of languages. Linguistic states means we know that as languages, there are many languages in our country. The states are divided or bifurcated on the basis of languages. The creation of linguistic states was the first and a major test for democratic politics in India. So in democracy, when we started after independence in 1947, the first test was done by with the linguistic states, how democracies can follow. If you look at the political map of India, we know that when it began its journey as a democracy in 1947, India became a democratic nation. From then till now, 2020, if we will go through the map of India, we will be surprised for the extent of the changes. Many changes have occurred. Many old states have vanished or disappeared, and many new states have been created. Areas and boundaries also, the names of the state also has been changed. We know that many states were, larger states were bifurcated into smaller states. In 1947, the boundaries of several old states were changed in order to create new states. The large states were cut short into smaller ones, and its boundaries all had changed. This was done to ensure that the people who speak the same language lived in the same state. So why they divided the larger states into smaller states? They wanted to make India as linguistic states on the basis of languages. Who are speaking particular languages should be united into one state. But it was not done in a completely as it is, because we know that some of the states in North India, Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh, these all speak the same language, Hindi, but they were not united into one state. Some other policies also they followed, that based on their culture, ethnicity and geographical differences, also they divided. Even though these states are speaking all these states have the same language, but depending upon their cultural differences, ethnicity or the social diversities or social differences and geography of the area or the topography of the area, also they divided the states, not only on the basis of languages. We can see some of the states like Nagaland, Uttarakhand, Jharkhand. These are some examples of the division done like this. Now when the demand for the formation of states on the basis of language was raised. Okay, but some of the leaders, our national leaders, feared that it would lead to the disintegration of the country. Now we know that when our country was united as India in 1947, when we got independence, some national leaders felt that if we divide the country into states on the basis of languages, there will be some clashes between the states. The unity of the country will be lost. That was the fear of some of our national leaders. The central government also, because of this, resisted linguistic states for some time. So central government also felt it is true, so that for some time they stopped the bifurcation of states on the basis of languages. But the experience has shown that the formation of linguistic states are more made our country united. So we divided, even though we divided some of the states on the basis of languages, but we know that this gave or these experiments gave that or cleared that more unity was experienced. It was also made administration very easier. When the states were divided on the basis of languages, administration also became easier. Now let's look about the language policy of our country. A second test for the Indian Federation is the language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language. We know that there are many languages spoken in our country. Among that, only 22 languages are recognized as recognized by the government as official languages for the states. But here we did not give any one language as the national language. But Hindi is the mother tongue of only 40% of the Indians, not the whole India. Therefore, there were many safeguards to protect other languages also. Hindi is spoken only 40% of the people in our country. Other regional languages also to be taken care. So besides Hindi, there are 21 other languages recognized as the scheduled languages by the Constitution. Constitution declares there are 21 scheduled languages plus Hindi. That means 22. Other than Hindi, there are 21. So totally there are 22 languages recognized by the as scheduled languages by the Constitution. A candidate can appearing for the examination, anyone who is appearing for any government examination or the central government positions may opt to take the examination in any of these languages. Out of these 22 languages, we can opt for any languages. We can write in examination in these 22 languages. Any of the 22 languages we can select. Now states to have their own official languages, each state, because we know that for the administration of Maharashtra we follow the language of Marathi. Much of the government works takes place in the official language concerned the state. For example, Maharashtra's official language is Marathi. All the administrative works, government orders, everything come in Marathi language only. Unlike Sri Lanka, the leaders of our country adopted very cautious attitude in spreading the value of Hindi. We know that in Sri Lanka, the government had taken government's policies majoritarianism. Sinhala they adopted as their official language. But in India we could not take this like this one particular language or Hindi as the official language. According to the Constitution, the use of English for the official purpose was stopped in 1965. Up to 1965 we followed the English as the official language. So many of the non-Hindi speaking states demanded the use of English to be continued, because especially the South Indian states, they do not speak Hindi, and so they all demanded for the continuous use of English as the official language. Even in the parliament also we know that our MPs mostly who are from the south speak English, as they are not familiar with the Hindi. So the use of English continued or still it is continued as an official language for the government purposes. In Tamil Nadu, this movement took a violent form that avoid the discontinuation of the English as an official language. So people protested against this movement of the government. So the central government responded by agreeing to continue the use of English along with the Hindi for the official purposes. We know that English also is used as the official language of government purposes. Many critics think that this solution favored the English speaking elite. So this is helpful for the English speaking people. So promotion of Hindi continues to be the official policy of the government. We know that recently also central government made a policy that one India, one language, that for the promotion of Hindi. So government is still trying to promote Hindi as the official language. Okay, so promotion does not mean that the central government can impose Hindi on states where people speak a different language. So central government cannot impose or compel other states also follow Hindi as the official language, because in all the states have their own regional languages. That language also to be, or the vernacular languages or the regional languages also to be promoted, so that a government cannot now the states where other languages also are spoken. The flexibility shown by the Indian political leaders helped our country avoid any kind of situation that Sri Lanka find itself. Our leaders take such kind of policies that liberal policies that are promoting all the languages, all regional languages, giving equal importance, so that the problems like Sri Lanka cannot be taken place in our country.